All right. So, what other function now is King George taking that might be useful for things you're writing? What is he doing here?
Well, he compared to his last song when he said, "You'll come crawling back," now he's saying, "Don't come crawling back.
Yeah.
I'm done with you," and become what you wish for, kind of thing.
Yeah.
He uses a little bit of post-revolutionary war history about how after the Revolutionary War, Britain went on to fight Spain and France.
Yeah. Giving us a little bit of history. What is he asking a lot of questions? Is he asking questions that we ourselves maybe should be asking as the audience over the next section?
Yes.
How fast does this play move? I mean, like, you haven't seen the stage, but I would say the stage action is very complex and constant dancing, constant, things. And, the first two pieces of George, literally, he just walks on stage, center stage alone, and stands still. And it gives wonderful expressions as he talks to the audience, but it's very calm. So the other thing I think to do is it's in the middle of all this bombardment, he's going to say, okay, this is he's essentially saying this is what's important to pay attention to, or these are the questions I want you guys to be thinking about in an entertaining way. So again, some of your stories are dense, or depending on what you're doing, it can be useful having a character who's asking the questions you want the audience to listen. There is a reason why there is often, how many people have seen the police procedural or the medical drama, and there's always the new recruit who asks questions on procedure and how is this done and what am I supposed to do, or gets taught the procedure. That's also another way of getting a character who asks the questions for you, for the audience, because you don't want to say, pretend the audience is stupid and explain things, but a lot of times you're dealing with concepts that they need to, and it's much easier to deal with the audience by throwing in a character who needs to get this explained or is asking the same questions that the audience is asking to do it. So that's, in essence, the other function now that King George is taking on, is he really is, in a weird way, a stand-in for the audience.
I think one of the things to note, especially from the second footnote, is the ways that sometimes we build scenes not necessarily because they do act. This is sort of another way of reiterating what you said. Not because they're even telling so much of the story or they're doing so much action, but because you need to prefigure something that's coming, or you need to introduce something that will be coming later.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, especially in your first draft or your second draft, we'll be looking for ways that you respond to, peer review, and sometimes you have to go back and write in scenes like this that perhaps on the first the first draft, you might even sort of forget as the author. But sometimes these are scenes that are really essential to the story, but they're not sort of obvious the first time you're writing.
All right. Okay.